Plummeting towards the surface of this frozen planet is a squad of space marines, experts in shock and awe tactics, as brutal and violent as they come. Drawn in by the smell of freshly shed blood, delivering their retribution in eerie silence. They are the Carcharodons. In the aftermath of the Scouring, a series of wars were fought. One of these conflicts was a series of battles known as the Astropath Wars, fought in late M32. This is when the Carcharodons first showed up in Imperial records. The Carcharodons themselves have since forgotten which chapter they are descended from. They only know that long ago, on a day they remember as the Day of Exile, they were banished from their homeworld by an individual known as the Forgotten One. Since then, they have stuck to the outside of the galaxy, circling the stars beyond the Imperium's influence. They have taken part in the Bad Ab War in M41, aiding in the destruction of one of the most serious rebellions in recent Imperial history. In the aftermath of the Bad Ab War, the Carcharodons were given the world of Uthaka, which formerly belonged to the Mantis chapter. They are currently participating in the Indomitus Crusade, led by a returned Rupute Gilliman. An eerie silence rests over the battlefield. The combatants not quite sure where the enemy will come from. They hold their position with bated breath, until suddenly, a great metal giant appears from the midnight fog, swinging a bloodied battle axe, massacring all who stand in his way. The screaming starts, and it wouldn't stop, until the giant had passed them by. The Carcharodons Astra are known for fighting in complete silence. After the battle is over, the Carcharodons will often execute what is called a Red Tithe. During the Red Tithe, it is a Reaper Prime's duty to harvest the population. Any useful people will be put to work. The rest will be turned into slaves. The objective here is to gather promising aspirants to continue fighting their everlasting war of attrition. A similar event known as the Grey Tithe is enacted by the Harvester Prime in order to obtain arms and equipment. Due to the Carcharodons' nature of being essentially scavengers and operating outside the reach of the Imperium, they are not resupplied by the Imperial forces. This leads to most of their technology being of older generations. Their power armor is more likely Mark IV, 5, or 6 instead of the more recent Mark X or Tacticus plate. Likewise, large parts of their fleet consist of vessels that date back all the way to the Great Crusade. There remains one glaring unanswered question, however. Which lineage do the Carcharodons belong to? It is believed by the officials of the Inquisition that the Carcharodons are descendants of the Raven Guard chapter. One piece of evidence that supports this particular theory is that the Carcharodons still use titles known to have belonged to the ancient Raven Guard Legion. The term Shade Lord is used when referring to their chapter master. This term was used by a commander of the Raven Guard Legion, a space marine named Arcus Fall, during the Great Crusade. Fall would later be banished to the outskirts of the galaxy by his Primarch. Furthermore, The Carcharodons use the term Pale Nomad to refer to their chief librarian, a term that used to belong to the Raven Guard Legion's 11th chapter. Another common rumor is that the Carcharodons may possess what is known as chimeric gene seed. Chimeric gene seed meaning that their gene seed is a union of 2 or more lineages. Some whispers from the darker corners of the galaxy even dare speculate that there may be elements of World Eaters or Night Lords gene seed within the Carcharodons. Whether this is true, I suppose we may never know. The current chapter master or shade lord of the Carcharodons is a space marine by the name of Tyberos the Red Wake. He embodies the essence of what the Carcharodons are like, never speaking in more than a whisper that carries with it the promise of death. He leads the Terminators of the chapter in one bloody assault after another, and is never seen outside of his armor. Underneath his helmet lies a pale face, half the bones exposed in a bloodless grimace, contrasted by depthless black eyes. He wades into battle with precise and deadly intent. Every strike cold and calculated. The chapter will continue doing what they do best, circling the galaxy, looking for their next meal.